There we go. Son of a bitch. Man, look at that delay. It just looks so bad, dude. YouTube sucks for that. Straight up. God damn it, you motherfucker, you. Where are you? Point. I missed all this. I'm sorry. Just rewatch it. Yeah, okay. Shotgun is pretty good with that. That's interesting. Nobody runs explosive concoction. Oh. True. Okay. Wait, we're not getting into. We're doing math, right? We're not just Cocatavo. Interesting. I don't know. Interesting. What are these guys talking about? Something we can listen to?
Yo.
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 180.
180. Big one.
That's the big one. You guys didn't notice there's somebody between us today.
Hey,
What's up?
How you doing, Wyatt? Welcome. Thanks for agreeing to do the podcast. We've been trying to get you on for many years now.
Yeah, probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. It's been a while.
Since episode
like
1,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. I'm glad you came on. If you guys don't know, I'll do a quick intro real fast in case you haven't heard of Wyatt or you just wanted some more background. So, you started off, you got your electrical engineering degree. This is a fact that I thought was kind of interesting, Wyatt. You got a BS in electrical engineering from Simon Fraser University.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're an actual electrical engineer. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna circle back to that. That's why I bring it up. Joined Blizzard North in 2003. That sound about right? Okay.
That's right.
Started work on the WoW team, if I remember correctly.
I was at Blizzard North, and then when Blizzard North closed and I came down to Blizzard Irvine,
Don't care about Blizzard
I
shit.
worked on the WoW team at Blizzard Irvine.
Give it zero fucks about
Okay,
that.
so
But there was some period of time at Blizzard North that there
Really?
was like Blizzard North's version of Diablo 3.
Okay.
Oh.
You had your hands dirty on that too.
There was some work on that. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So you worked on WoW. Then you went to the D3 team, which, I think a lot of us are pretty familiar with that. And then from there, you went to now you're the game director on Diablo Immortal.
That's right.
And
Yep.
then the fun fact is you also taught game mechanics at Laguna College of Art and Design.
I did. I did that for a few years. That was really fun. I'd keep doing it, but I kind of ran out of time.
Yeah,
But I'd like to do again still someday.
that's pretty awesome.
That was like I mean, I didn't leave Blizzard to do that. I was teaching night class.
After hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So
Did you
Alright,
have
so
the
I'm gonna-
same role your whole time on the Diablo 3 team, or did that change?
It changed over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, at Blizzard North, I originally started as a tools and gameplay programmer. And then when the project was rebooted in Irvine, I did my official title was a technical game designer. And then went on to do game design, systems design, and then later on patch lead.
Right on.
Awesome. So I guess I'll jump into the Diablo 3 since Fluff already took us there. So you started, your initial was game design, you said, or what was your original role?
Anything exciting?
Technical
Title?
game designer.
Technical game
Yeah.
designer?
So
what did you
this is
do? Tell me
interesting.
about your role.
Yeah, in like what year was that? I guess that would be like 2007, something like that. I might have the year a little bit off. There were there was I guess as the game industry grows, the roles get more specialized. And like way back in like the 90s, there would be like a bunch of artists and a bunch of programmers, and they would get together, and no one had a designer title. That was pretty common back in the 80s and 90s if you were playing like Sid Meier's Civilization or something like that, right? It was just some people who loved making games. And then as the industry gets older, or matures, and the teams get bigger and people get more specialized. And so nowadays you'll have, game designer.
Smoke.
To mute. Actually, here's some science.
The Sahara is the largest hot desert on Earth. 8.6 million square kilometers, or 3.3 million square miles of sand dunes and rocks. This is about the size of the US, except for the few eastern states, California, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington, buried under the sand. At first sight, this huge kingdom of sand, where the surface can heat up to 80 degrees Celsius and
Aliens
the
on the
average
moon.
rainfall is only
The
about
truth
76
exposed.
millimeters per year.
There we go. That looks
Isn't that
entertaining.
interesting?
Let's
And
get
yet,
that going.
the Sahara is as full of secrets and mysteries as its night sky is full of bright stars. And scientists still struggle to solve many of them. June the 3rd, 1965. The American manned spacecraft has two astronauts on board, James McDivitt and Edward White. It's necessary to make several crucial experiments to attempt to rendezvous and make a joint flight with the spent Titan second stage. Then Edward White would go into open space. To these astronauts, photographing the Earth was a routine, but when scientists studied the images that were taken, they were astonished. In the Mauritanian part of the Sahara Desert, they discovered a huge ring structure, 3 clearly visible and almost perfectly round concentric circles with a maximum diameter of 50 kilometers. Because of its shape, the formation was almost immediately called the Eye of the Sahara. In the scientific community, another name was accepted, the Richat structure. For a long time, it was believed that this structure appeared after an impact of an asteroid. The Earth already has similar formations left by space visitors. The Chicxulub crater on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico is about 180 kilometers in diameter and up to 20 kilometers deep. But the Eye of the Sahara is nothing like this crater. So what is it then? An almost perfectly round shape of the rings suggests their artificial origin. If so, the Egyptian pyramid of Cheops pales in comparison with this magnificent antiquity structure. Many modern Atlantologists or scientists searching for Atlantis believe that the Eye of the Sahara is the remains of this highly developed ancient city that belonged to a mysterious, unknown civilization. The dimensions and architecture of the rings almost fully correspond to the description made by Plato. Here's how Plato writes about Atlantis in his work, The Atlantis Dialogue. Alternate zones of sea and land, larger and smaller, encircling one another. There were 2 of land and 3 of water, each having its circumference equidistant every way from the center, so that no man could get to the island, for ships and voyages were not as yet. The island in which the palace was situated had a diameter of 5 stadia. Plato's theory seems plausible, given that Atlantis, as he claimed, existed over 10,000 years ago. And if a modern city was abandoned for such a long time, nothing would have remained from it either. According to Plato, the ancient city sank as a result of a certain cataclysm. Because of this, scientists prefer to look for Atlantis at the bottom of the ocean. But recently, they began to think that Atlantis could be on the surface. And because of how long it stayed underwater, only the central city of Atlantis, the Richat structure, could have survived. This is exactly what the French Atlantologist Orlando Santos thinks. The idea is that the territory that the ancient city was built on could be underwater as a result of a powerful earthquake. And over time, because of natural tectonic processes, it dried up. Geologists who have explored the Sahara claim that its natural conditions have changed several times under such circumstances. Alternatively, Atlantis could be flooded with water due to a tsunami that formed after a meteorite or an asteroid collided with our planet. In the Bible, this event is referred to as the Flood. If the legends and myths about the city island are true, both of the above phenomena occurred almost simultaneously. At the same time, geologists strongly disagree with Atlantologists. When the theory about the meteorite origin of the Sahara Eye was refuted, another idea was suggested. The structure could as well be the remains of an ancient volcano. And there are volcanoes in the Sahara. The largest one, located in Chad, is called Emikusi. It's 3.5 kilometers above sea level. Its peak has 2 craters, one with a diameter of 12 by 15 kilometers, and the other one about 2 to 3 kilometers in size and 350 meters deep. But that's much smaller than the Richat structure. And 50 kilometers in diameter isn't just a volcano, it's a supervolcano, like the one underneath the Yellowstone National Park. But because the Yellowstone supervolcano looks completely different, geologists suggest another hypothesis. As a result of the rise of magma, the surface above it rose as well. But this doesn't explain why instead of just a hill, several concentric rings formed. Another version is that the Eye of the Sahara is the result of erosion. Scientists think that the ground in this place was gradually weathering, which led to such a layered formation. To date, this hypothesis is the most plausible. While scientists have been puzzling over the mystery of the Sahara for half a century, astronauts have been using it as a sort of beacon. So, while the Earth is spying on the cosmos with its Eye of the Sahara, let's deal with other optics, or rather, with glass. The Libyan Desert, located in the center of North Africa, is part of the Sahara and looks like the most ordinary desert. Sand, rare oases, and some more sand. But only here, among the dunes, can you find a very strange substance. Scientists have called it Libyan glass. The substance looks like there was an accident at a glass factory, and the workers, instead of making bottles from the resulting product, were forced to simply pour molten quartz onto the ground, where it solidified. And now it lies scattered on the sand, in shapeless pieces, glowing in the tropical sun. But what's weird about this glass is its age. The ancient Egyptians knew the technology of making glass 5,000 years ago. For example, glazed tiles on the interior of the Djoser Pyramid date back to the 27th century BC. But the thing is that the age of the Libyan glass isn't 5,000 years old, and not even 50, but 100,000 years. So who could spill hundreds of tons of molten quartz over an area of approximately 150 by 30 kilometers 100,000 years ago? Well, it could have been some kind of cataclysm that happened here, and not an industrial but rather a military one. and on a cosmic scale. Something unimaginably powerful might have exploded above the sand dunes that turned them into glass. Something similar happened when the American atomic bomb was tested in the state of New Mexico, or during the Soviet atomic bomb test in Kazakhstan. The sand surrounding the epicenters of the explosions turned into glass. Ufologists suggest that a nuclear conflict took place in the Sahara. They believe that terrestrial civilizations had nothing to do with it, and that this was the work of aliens. And a nuclear conflict wasn't only on the site of modern Libya. Stones molten by ultra-high temperatures were also found on the territory of the Sinai Peninsula. Still, ufologists aren't scientists. So what do real scientists say? They claim that the reason is meteorites. When they hit, temperatures and pressures that can turn sand into glass are generated. Dr. Farouk Elbaz and his colleagues from Boston University found a crater with a diameter of 31 kilometers on the border of Libya and Egypt. But that crater is tens of millions of years old, and the Libyan glass is much younger. Also, the crater is located over 100 kilometers from the place where the glass was found. Another researcher discovered as many as 100 craters covering a surface of more than 5,000 kilometers of the Sahara Desert. But again, this meteor bombardment occurred 50 million years ago, and not in the place where the Libyan glass was found. So the mystery of this substance hasn't been solved yet. Let's look at the northeast of Niger. In 2003, paleontologist Paul Serino of the University of Chicago found a Stone Age cemetery here. Once there was a freshwater paleolake called Gobero, about 3 kilometers in diameter and 3 meters deep. And there used to be human settlements around it. Scientists found about 200 Stone Age graves located on 2 ancient dunes, each about 100 meters across. The dunes are only a couple of 100 meters apart. Serino had already explored 67 graves. As it turns out, the bones of people of 2 ancient cultures are buried at the Gobero graveyard. The first to come here were the tribes of strong people, hunters and fishermen, who were attributed to the Kifian culture. They were real giants, judging by the skeletons that were found. The height of people who lived 10,000 years ago often exceeded 2 meters. And the Kifians weren't just giants, they had a great physique too. In order to maintain powerful muscles, the Kifians had to have a diet rich in proteins. And this, under the conditions of the Stone Age, had to mean a very intense rhythm of life with constant hunting and fishing. Apparently, this is the way Kifian people lived for 1,500 years. But about 8,000 years ago, they suddenly disappeared. 1,000 years later, another period of the Green Sahara began, the last one up to this moment. The surroundings of the lake were now inhabited by the Tenarians. These were no longer 2-meter giants, their height was only 1.5 to 1.6 meters, and in terms of muscularity, they were inferior compared to the Kifians. One of the most striking finds of archaeologists is connected with this culture. Scientists found the skeletons of 3 people at once: a young woman, aged about 25, and 2 children, probably her kids, aged about 5 and 8 years, who were buried on a carpet of flowers. 5,000 years later, the children and their mother still stretch their arms to each other. Nothing similar has ever been discovered. So far, we have no idea who these people, the Kifian giants and the Tenarians, were. Now let's move on to a dried-up lake in the Nubian desert, 800 kilometers away from Cairo. In 1973, a team of archaeologists who were passing through the Nabta Playa Basin stopped to rest and suddenly noticed shards under their feet. Fragments of old pottery are an excellent indicator of rich archaeological possibilities. Studies show that Nabta Playa isn't just a Neolithic site. Many megaliths have been discovered in the area. Today, the site is located in the heart of the desert, but thousands of years ago, the local climate was more humid and people lived here. Archaeologists have mapped the area using GPS technology and confirmed the discovery of a stone circle consisting of massive stone blocks. Researchers believe it was intended for astronomical observations. The vertical pillars in the center of the circle were used to view the sun, which is at its zenith during the summer solstice. If you connect one of the central megaliths with a straight line to 2 stone blocks located at a distance of a mile, then this line would indicate the directions to east and west. 2 more lines, drawn in the same manner through other similar stones, would determine the directions to the southeast and southwest. former NASA physicist Thomas Brophy carried out his own astronomical study of Nabta Playa. He believes that this structure accurately indicates the region of the sky where the constellation of Orion was located in 6,400 to 4,940 BC. According to Brophy, the 3 stones within the outer circle are the 3 stars of Orion's belt before the summer solstice. The scientist also believes that the stone circle discovered in Nabta is a detailed calendar and an astrophysical map. And if so, with its help, it's possible to track the trajectory of the movement of the Milky Way every 25,920 years. But human beings have never been able to observe such a picture visually. It can only be modeled on the basis of astronomical calculations using the most modern data and the latest computer technologies. How could the ancient Egyptians do this? And, most importantly, why? Scientists cannot answer this question up to this day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our story about the mysteries of the Sahara, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There'll be many more interesting videos about the secrets of the mysterious world we live in.
This fight. Oh no.
I saw this illumination that was moving with respect to the stars. We were smart enough to not
might
say,
have to change it up.
Houston,
Might have to go
there's a
grab
light out
another
there
bit.
that's following us. So technically, it becomes an unidentified flying object.
While Neil and Buzz were on the lunar surface, Neil switched to the medical channel and spoke directly with the chief medical officer, saying, they're here, they're parked on the side of the crater, they're watching us.
I spotted a lot of stuff that seemed to not belong
Oh.
on the moon.
Is this forever?
And it has very distinct features of a satellite dish. It's got the dish itself, the crater shape, it's got a long spike that appears to come out of the middle, all sorts of stuff that looks exactly like a satellite dish on Earth looks.
There's an interesting picture on the moon that does appear to show something that could be a bridge, maybe a
Okay.
pipe, could be an
Okay.
inching worm.
I have no doubt that extraterrestrials could very well have populated or made structures on the far side of the moon.
The reaction of numerous space defense officials was fear and astonishment.
And it would make sense that governments and military agencies might well be quaking in their boots, wondering who's built these structures, where are they from, what do they want?
There is one
Just
object
getting
that
degened,
reminds
I mean,
people of a cooling tower from a nuclear power
Oh,
plant.
this is
Any
fun interaction.
species that could travel through the stars
More dumb
enough
GGG
to put a
shit.
base on
I
the
mean,
moon wouldn't have
he's
to
doing it.
blink before they could take care of us.
The other thing that is inside this lunar module looks like a woman, and this is the alien that they recovered from the ship.
Like no damage
There
to
was a
this
study
fucking brick.
done by the Brookings Institute in the early 1960s, so before NASA went to the moon. There was sort of this idea that if we were to have any kind of interaction with alien life form or intelligence, that maybe we shouldn't tell the public because the public might not be able to handle it.
As the 45th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission to the
I'm
moon
degening.
dawns,
There's nothing
there are
on me.
many
Like, what the
mysteries
fuck is
about
going
man's
on?
first lunar landing that
It's a
remain
dumbass
unsolved.
fight.
What did the astronauts actually encounter?
There's no telegraphing.
And what made NASA
I can't even.
stop
It's the
going
same
back to
color as the
moon after Apollo
ground, dude.
17?
That's
Is
so
there evidence
dumb.
of an alien presence
What a
on the moon?
waste.
And perhaps all around us? These startling photographs, recently discovered in NASA's official archive, were taken by the Apollo astronauts themselves. The gigantic artificial-looking structures they document, which have never been shown on television before, seem to defy simple scientific explanation. Could this be a nuclear power plant of some kind? A massive satellite dish trained on Earth? Even an alien fortress?
Fucked up. I can't get all my spiders out.
We
Like,
took the pictures to some of the brightest people of our world. And nobody can say for sure what these structures represent. Military experts tell us that if there is an alien base on the moon, it poses a serious threat to humanity. Tonight, we'll examine all the evidence. We'll attempt to determine if such an alien menace exists. And we'll investigate the baffling case of Apollo 20. Could this really be a female alien recovered during a secret mission to the moon just a few years after the Apollo program supposedly ended? You decide for yourself as we investigate Aliens on the Moon, the truth exposed.
Am I supposed to be doing something here? I'm like, missing it. Maybe I'm supposed to go through here.
My destiny. It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
Look at the skies around the world.
It's descending at an extremely alarming rate of speed.
Over the United States, Russia, and China, UFOs are being reported in record numbers. You are looking at what might be actual alien beings caught on camera. This extraordinary video shot by an American researcher in Turkey purportedly shows a hovering extraterrestrial spaceship piloted by ETs known as the Greys. Look closely at the footage. The two aliens appear to be moving around in what might be the craft's cockpit.
Oh my god, am I gonna like...
When the craft came back to the same area 2 days later, its appearance changed.
What am I supposed to be doing here?
Then, 2 nights later, it hovered again, apparently under one alien pilot's control, lit by the moonlight. And what can explain this enormous disc-shaped craft navigating over our moon? And this gigantic cube, positioned on the lunar surface. Both were caught on video by a British videographer named John Leonard Walson using a specially designed telescope he assembled. No matter what the answers are, current mass interest in extraterrestrials clearly is at an all-time high.
The sheer number of websites, blogs, YouTube channels, social media accounts, pages, everything dedicated to UFOs and aliens, I think really speaks to how much we are fascinated with and want to believe in alien lives and UFOs.
And there are also signs an alien presence could be solar system-wide. Take a look at this incredible event, captured by the Solar Dynamics Observatory satellite on March 11th, 2012. What is happening to our sun? There appears to be an Earth-sized disk in the corona extracting plasma from the sun's surface. Then, hours later, the dark orb seems to pull away, releasing the plasma filament bands. Many experts are puzzled.
I can't explain what that is, but I can definitely see why aliens may be interested in taking plasma. A lot of these UFOs seem to be encircled by plasma-type energy. So plasma could be a fuel for these aliens. It would make perfect sense if some of these craft are fueled by plasma, that they would go to the sun and actually draw plasma from it to charge their craft.
And what is happening on the moon? Earlier this year, millions of people began poring over this image captured by Google Moon that many major news outlets suggested could be an alien base. Writer Lee Spiegel covered the story for the popular Huffington Post.
No idea what to fucking do in
Recently,
here.
something came to my attention that someone had used the Google Moon application, and this person zoomed in closer and closer and came up with an image. It's triangular, 2 lines of 7 lights, perfectly spaced between each other, and that those lights are sitting what looks like a black surface, and then immediately below the black surface is a very bright white light. And so the questions started coming up. Is this an extraterrestrial colony? What is this on the moon?
Though some researchers have called this a digital artifact, others still feel it could be an actual lunar construction.
Is it an installation? We really don't know, other than the fact that it has these angles, it has these bright lights, and it really does appear to be man-made in some format at least.
Perhaps concern over unexplained images like these is prompting governments to investigate. October 1st, 2010. China launches its Chang'e 2 lunar orbiter. Soon, web surfers everywhere are mesmerized by this stunning image.
This particular piece of footage seems to show what looks like an installation, a facility, a factory maybe, on the surface of the moon. It kind of looks like an aerial photograph of something along the lines of a North Pole installation or outpost. Clear angles, right angles, seeming to show something like an intelligently built structure. The big question is, what is it? What's it being used for?
The vivid pictures sparked heated debate among believers and skeptics alike.
It was all over the place, all around the world, not just UFO researchers reading it and watching it, but actually members of the general public as well, in their millions.
But top lunar researchers soon discovered that the image comes not from the Chinese orbiter, but from the archives of NASA.
It turns out that it's actually a lunar orbiter photograph, so it's actually something NASA took a picture of. The problem is, while it looks really authentic and it's certainly impressive, and there's no question that if it's a legitimate photo that it's artificial, the reality is that there's no frame number associated with it, so nobody really knows what to go back and check.
Despite the image's original misidentification as coming from the Chinese space program,
I just
China's
beat this shit
recent
and
landing
still
of a
threw me in
rover
here.
on the moon might have sparked
Oh, what
renewed
shit is
interest
this?
in the rovers NASA
Well,
is
another
currently
fight now.
operating on
By
Mars.
heart.
April 8, 2014. TV news outlets throughout America began reporting how this puzzling bright light was captured on or beneath the planet Mars by NASA's Curiosity rover. Though some scientists suspect it could be caused by the sun's reflection or cosmic rays, no one knows for sure what the origin is. Then, earlier this year, people pored over this perplexing image that UFO sites suggested was an alien face. It wasn't the first time a face on Mars captured the public's imagination. In 1976, these pictures, taken by NASA's Viking orbiter of a sphinx-like mesa located near huge pyramids in an area called Cydonia, inspired millions to think aliens might have built these things. And perhaps the Egyptian monuments too, due to the obvious geometric similarities. But some scientists who were initially excited about the cosmic implications say more recent NASA pictures might help explain the face's human appearance.
When I grew up in the 70s, of course, the Viking images showed that unusual face in the Cydonia region. But when we got the Mars Global Surveyor out and started to take different camera angles, different lighting angles, it became quite obvious that it was just a large mesa with very interesting lighting angles that made it look like a face.
Nevertheless, signs an ET race might have built an outpost closer to Earth came the same year the Viking orbiter image made headlines with the publication of the book Somebody Else is on the Moon. Its author pointed to very unusual NASA photos, including one of a lunar region called Mare Crisium, where years earlier, newspapers reported a
How eyebrows?
Oh yeah, it's working.
Yeah,
there
oh
you
my
go.
God, amazing.
I mean,
it's working. Wait.
Open your mouth really wide, Will.
Wait, I have to configure it.
No, just open your mouth. Open your gob.
Oh no. So is that doing what you're doing in real life? You're pursing your lips.
Are you
now.
going?
You're
No, I'm not,
pouting.
no, it's work, you damn thing.
That kind of worked then.
You have to do really, really exaggerated
Why,
talking.
hello
hello,
there.
I am Remag. Like that.
Hello, my name is Remag.
Can you do the people's eyebrow?
Wait, here we go. Rock.
Kind of, yeah. It kind of works. Close one eye, Will.
It even blinks. That. Wait.
It even blinks.
I mean,
it doesn't look like you very well. I have to be honest.
It looks like you're having a seizure. I'll be honest. Why are you gurning so much?
I don't know. It's meant to be the smile. Why, hello there. Howdy.
Can you look sad? You just look like an angry baby or something.
To be fair, I have like a big beard and moustache. It's probably covering my mouth.
Okay, here's the figure, right? 149330336. That's a lot of money, and I don't know where it's come from.
Chuck us another 99 million. Give Bong 100 million, and then that's fine. I'm gonna fire a torpedo. Ready?
Yeah, that's it. Is it away? Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Oh my god.
It's wiggling.
Torpedo away.
Bang.
Oh
Splash
my
one.
God.
That was sick.
Get this guy. He's close. Look. Hey, no.
Firing. Splash two.
Nice.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're spinning.
He's spinning.
Yeah, I'm passing out.
Yeah, I'm passed out.
It's okay. Don't worry. We're gonna be all right. Go to a different turret.
Splash three. Targeted.
Get him, please.
Boom. Splash four. Okay, this guy's getting it. Oh, baby. Splash five. Wait, we have to take our helmets off.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. All right, so we're waiting for Tommy.
Oh, it's delicious.
Jack, don't eat the ice cream just by chomping it down with your teeth. Look. Apparently this is the way they do it on this
Well,
planet.
you
Is
do
it?
it.
Watch. Nom.
It's gone.
It's gone.
No one can eat a cornetto that quickly.
That's the full tooth smasher. That would be so cold.
Ride the torpedo, did you say? I'll give it a go.
PKA 592 with our guest General Sam Taylor.
This episode of PKA brought to you by ExpressVPN, Blue Chew, and Lock and Load, the finest cum pills in America or the world. Check those out below. Code PKA, 10% off those or anything else. General Sam, thank you so much for joining us. You've been highly requested.
Yeah. I'm not here as General Sam. I'm here as a representative of my own podcast.
I see.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
the
sorry.
guy.
The FFP liaison.
Yeah.
Forehead Fables
I'm not,
is the name of your show.
Yeah. The YouTube channel. You can't ask me any questions about that. Won't talk about it. Just here for
That's good. I have no
representative of the
questions.
show.
Yeah. Are you under the impression
Can't
we watch
corner
your
me.
videos?
I didn't know you had a podcast.
That's one of the worst fucking things in the world too. When you get your YouTube friends go like, "Hey, can I be on your show?" And then they go like, "Oh, I was expecting like questions." Like nobody has less life experience than a fucking YouTuber. Like nobody cares about what you've done. Like all your shit's the same. The account's free. You made it and you start making videos. Like nobody cares about your start. And I'm sure you've had a million YouTubers on and you tried that at first. You were like, so what was your inspiration? Nobody cares.
I don't know. Everybody seemed like they were making a lot of money not doing much, and I wanted some.
And I wanted money for not doing much.
And I saw I could like play games and then they put the ads on it and then I got a check and then I did more of that. Yeah.
Dude, I would do like in 2010 when I was like 19, just started the channel. All my content was like, here's a game of me going 20-17 in domination, but I have a funny story about Chipotle. And like, I would do like an Ask Me Anything episode and people would ask me unironic questions. Like, I just graduated college. I need some investment advice. It's like, I said I'm 19. Like, I have no idea, dude. I'm having relationship problems. My advice is go to an adult, dude. Like, not my dumbass.
Not me, dude. If you're asking me, I'm with full confidence. I'm making up something, and I'm gonna sell it, whatever it is. People ask me for financial advice. I'm like, fuck it. I don't have a license for that. Let's do it. I'm telling you exactly where to put that shit.
Put everything into NFTs. It's my understanding that they're really taking off.
Can I just say on the
value.
NFT thing? I want to say I think the PKA podcast came together and the three of us agreed with our limited bit of knowledge that the NFT thing was either A, above our heads and maybe a good idea, or most likely B, just silly and a big ripoff from people who are like, hey, remember Bitcoin? We got a new thing that's just like it. Give us all your money. And so far, that's what I've seen, except it's less secure because I keep seeing people having their NFTs stolen. And I keep seeing like fake transactions and fraud and scams. And then, of course, you saw the guy who like bought the NFT of the first tweet for like, I don't remember how many hundreds of thousands of dollars.
700,000 maybe?
Yeah, enough to buy a small house these days.
Oh my God,
And,
houses now.
I think it might have been in the millions. Like something absurd. Yeah.
He lost it all though. But
no, what did it list for? Go on, hit him with the.
Was it like 2 point?
Zach, can you help us?
2.1
No, he
million?
listed it, and the highest bid he got was $200.
That's
what a dumbass! Wow, retard of the week award.
Zach, is this Jack Dorsey's first tweet we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. It'll take him a second, but Zach will find out what the figures are. I'm curious too.
Dude, losing $2 million on a picture of like a stoned monkey. Like I've never struggled with suicidal ideation ever, but I can't imagine how that would feel, realizing like you've destroyed your life for a picture of a monkey.
Get the numbers out here. Jack Dorsey's first tweet went for $2.9 million, and he tried to resell it and got $277.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
He lost almost $2.9 million.
If you lose it all and you're left with a stone monkey picture, you at least have the stone monkey picture. But this guy has a fucking screen cap of a tweet. Which is even more
Is it even a good tweet?
Can he write that off as a loss?
Yeah,
try explaining that
the
to
way
like
that
the IRS. Like
loss carry forwards, you can like you write it off as a
They're not gonna
loss,
put up
but
with
then it used to be $3,000 a year towards future earnings you could take off. I hope it's higher now. But at 2.9 million, like you're covered for life.
That's what I was getting.
Can
at.
you imagine
like
the
maybe
shit
for a
show?
man in his position, like let's say it's 350,000 a year. Like for a man in his position, he's like, deal. Maybe it was just planned the whole time.
No, the implication I'm getting from you is that he can claim it against ordinary income. I think you have to claim it against investment gains that he makes in the future.
Isn't he like a professional investor or something?
I don't know anything about him.
Sound like a good
I don't think that was his last 2 million. Just to be clear, like
I hope not. 3 million, by the way, but yeah.
Even so, like if I was worth $10 billion, that would be really embarrassing to lose 2 million publicly.
Okay.
If I put myself out there as a finance guy.
Yeah.
Like if I was one of those like retard tier Dan Bilzerian billionaires who like don't really know how they get the money, like you could be like, oh
He's
yeah,
not
he
a
lost 2 million. He's always I don't know anything about that guy. I just picked an example. But like if Warren Buffett lost $2 million on an NFT, like that would damage Berkshire Hathaway. Like, people would be
That'll
like,
never
"That's
happen.
a charge."
He wants to buy Bitcoin. He wants to short Bitcoin. He's like, if there was a way to short Bitcoin 10 years, I'm pretty confident everyone who has it now is going to be left holding the bag. And I'm pretty confident that Warren Buffett will be dead.
So, yeah, safe estimate when you're 102.
I would like to short Warren Buffett's life.
I'll give it a 6 month on the over under.
Did you see that his like next door neighbor's house went up for sale and people were scrambling to buy it way over market value because they're like, I might run into Warren Buffett at the fucking mailbox. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
As if he gets his own mail and mows his own grass. Like hell no, that guy's
he's one of those like fake billionaire like a pretend man of the people where he's like, I live in the same Omaha house I did in 1950. I'm a normal guy. I wear Dockers and I drive a Lincoln and I paid $85 million to get my congressman of choice elected in Vermont. I'm just a normal guy like you, donating hundreds of millions to people who will give me advantageous tax policies. But I like barbecue and I drive a Lincoln. It's like, who's falling for this? Like, seriously? You think he doesn't have a white marble underground lair under there? His own little shit.
Is there any evidence for any of this, Taylor?
No.
Take it on face value.
Did he really buy it?
Do you need a source? I made it up.
He's always advocating for higher taxes. He seems to live in that house or he stopped. He's not passing on his wealth to his children. Like he has a weird relationship with money, I think.
He's not passing his wealth on?
No, he thinks that it's not good parenting. Now he's going to pass some on. They're going to be like multimillionaires, but he's one of the wealthiest men to have ever lived.
Can I tell you how upsetting that would be for me?
I'd be
Oh
pissed.
yeah, I would
like
gut knife him
Oh,
right
like
there.
like I
Fucking Tyrion Lannister shot in the belly on the shitter.
Yeah, I would crossbow him at the lawyer's office when he was trying to get me to sign the paperwork.
like my dad has
that guy.
talked to me about like what he wants done when he passes away and stuff, and like the idea of like, well, we'll only leave you so much. It's like the first, his idea is like, I just want to make sure I leave you as much as I can. And I'm like, Dad, I don't want to have this talk. You should use your money and enjoy the rest of your life. And he's just like, oh no, you're gonna be surprised.
Surprise, Kyle! I'm foregoing chemo treatment for you, and you're like, Dad, please.
And I be honest with you, he would. I think that would be his first inclination. He's that kind of guy.
Sounds like a selfless guy.
I think that would be his first inclination. He's like, I'm not gonna spend $500,000 giving myself 3 or 4 more years when that could buy you a start in a business or a quarter of a home these days. Dude, I keep talking about the mortgage rate, not mortgage rates, because those are outrageous anyway, just because all the interest rates are like around 5% or whatever right now. But it's the what do you call it? Oh, like rent's up 17% I saw, and I think that home prices are just insane right now.
It's bananas.
Just insane.
It's bananas. Can I talk about this for a second? I've had this thing where like every generation always fusses about the one before it making their life impossible. You guys had it easy, for us it's so hard. And I just was like, I've been watching this pattern since I was a little kid. Trust me, when I was you, I said that too. I wish these old fucks would retire so all the 40-year-olds would move up into the 60-year-old jobs, and all us 20-year-olds could have the good jobs that you 40-year-olds are squatting on right now. Dicks. Right? That was my take. And the kids now are saying the same thing. I would be like, oh my God, our houses are 200 grand. That's fucking ridiculous. I wish I bought it when it was 30 grand when you did, back in the old days. Your mortgage is nothing. Your expenses are trivial. I have modern day mortgage, house prices to cover. This feels different. Regular houses around here are $600,000. These are 2,200 square foot homes for 600 grand, 700 grand. And it's like, good gosh, that seems like a lot.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's made homeownership impossible for the vast majority of people.
You, I think, made a great move buying your home a few years ago.
So early, I barely made. I got it. I think I bought it the very, very, very end of 2018, and the value of my house when I bought it versus now, it's gone up like $140,000.
I've gone the other direction.
Actually, gone up that much. It was just a bubble, but
I didn't need to sell my last house. So I missed out on about 400,000 in gains.
Yeah.
I could have rented it.
I don't like this conversation. I just bought a house. This conversation sucks.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah.
You struck while the iron was freezing.
You got me sweating over here. I bought a house that is worth
You got YouTube money. This is a month's earning.
No,
Sam, I have a question.
High,
it's
sell high.
been burning in my head. I have to flip and know. Here's the story. Tell me what's true. You were going to be a guest like a year ago. You looked at the subreddit. You said, you guys are so fucking toxic. I want nothing to do with the show. And it took a year to change your mind. Is that remotely true?
No, it's not you guys. It's your subreddit. I went on there. They were just screaming about everybody. They were like, Woody's this old fucking out of touch piece of shit.
They're not wrong.
Kyle's fat and he likes traps. And then Taylor, they're like, Taylor's head's big. He's pretty cool, but Taylor's head is big. And I was like, holy shit, the audience sucks. I don't want to be a part of this shit. Cause the whole scheme here was, I was like, I got this podcast, right? But it's not organic at all. Doesn't have any actual viewers. It's just offloaded garbage from my YouTube channel that it's trickle over effect. Sure. You guys have actual people that enjoy podcasts, And so I was like, hey, if I'm a guest on there, I might get some of them. And then I was looking at your subreddit. I was like, I don't want any of them. That's the last thing I'm going to want. These people fucking suck. But I've been looking at the subreddit, and all of a sudden the tides have turned. All of a sudden Kyle got ripped. Woody was less of a whatever the fuck you were doing. Taylor's head got a little bit smaller. And,
I appreciate it.
And now everybody's nicer now.
Listen, Sam, our guests might be our fans might be assholes, but they come
your guests
like
are
champions. No one comes or ejaculates better than the PKA fan base.
They come, so if they commit crimes, they're fucked. You ever, if you're like one of those robbers who robs a bank and then beats off in the corner and they find your semen, you're not going to make it out of the store. It's going to be like a sinewy bit of spider web to the tip of your dick.
They'll follow like a blood trail all the way to your house.
Look at this. Confuse you, like Kyle. You know the stories I'm talking about, where it'd be like a totally non-sexual crime, where it'd be like Josh Stevenson stole 3 Camaros overnight with a friend. He was discovered after semen was found in the vehicle. It's like, but how? Like, it's not even fucking. It's like on the wheel. Like, there's no way. So those people have to have a death wish or want to be caught.
That makes sense to me.
No, I think that's look. I don't really understand it, but I think that there's definitely some people that like attach like sex and like getting turned on. No, I don't think it's power. I think it's a different thing. I think that like stealing things is like a thrill for him, and somehow his wires are crossed a little bit so that thrill bleeds over into sexual getting turned on.
I see it differently. Like, I have a friend who likes marijuana, and he was like, hey, pot makes everything better. He likes to run a lot. He exercises, and he smokes pot while he does that.
I was like, this is me. And then you're like, he likes to run a lot. I'm like,
yeah. I would have told the story if it was you, but like, he thinks that TV is better, that sex is better, that running is better. If I gave other activities, I'd be doxing him. But he loves to smoke pot and do other things. That's how I feel about masturbation. That's why I don't think you should touch my steering wheel.
Oh, everything's better while you're masturbating.
Driving.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and interject there, and I think sex is absolutely horrible while high. That is like one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Really?
Was being absolutely.
I last longer, and it like feels better.
No, that was the problem. Like it was, it was like a fucking out of body experience.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's what I'm going for.
It was like frustrating for both me and the partner because I was like, I don't know why I said it like that, like my wife.
Yeah. I know. I was like,
because I was like, it was like out of body. Like I was like, whoa, she's really going to town on that. And I was like, oh, that's me. And it was, I couldn't even. There was no fucking like sensory loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I couldn't like feel a fucking thing. But I was like,
really fucking high.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Do you like regularly smoke, or is it like a once in a blue moon kind of thing?
It's the legality in my state is
so like every time you're in Colorado or California, you'll smoke some. So yeah, when it's like
every
that,
night I go to Colorado, I sneak across the border.
You joke, dude. I'm such a fucking fiend. Like after I got off probation, I went on this like 2-week smokecation to Colorado with my buddies. But then when I got back, I was like back to Delta 8, which is like the legal shit that we have in Georgia, which is okay. I found better like legal.
Wait, you a Georgia boy?
I am a Georgia boy.
I'm North Florida boy. We're right. I'm 30 minutes away from the border.
Football rivals.
Okay. Down around Tallahassee.
Football and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I drove to fucking Illinois one week to go get stoned for like a 3-day weekend, and then on the 7-hour drive back, I was like, I might have a problem.
If you drive
your problem is Illinois is too far away.
If I told you like, I need a drink, I'm driving to Virginia for a beer, you'd be like, Taylor has a serious problem. Like he's drove 8 hours for a bottle of vodka.
But see, I made a week. I did it like a soccer mom has her 5 glasses of wine. I made it like a whole event. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to spend a 3-day weekend with a friend over on the lake in romantic Southern Illinois.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem, I would say. If you travel any distance for something, you want it way too much.
Yeah, it's probably true. I really do enjoy being stoned though. But yeah, there's the Delta 8 stuff and all the other like variants that we've got legal for now for the time being.
Yeah,
really strong.
Legal.
At least
I hope so.
At least that's a substance, so it makes like rational sense. My co-host has this obsession with bidding on estate sales, and it's based out of a town that's like 2.5 hours away from him, and he's constantly winning shit that you don't fuck. And we actually got into a fight during an episode about this shit because like you only get defensive and angry if something is actually true. But I was like, dude, you were like buying opal earrings and shit. Your ears aren't pierced. Like you don't need this stuff. He bought a fucking taxidermy boar head. The ears falling off. It looks like a zombie. It's all patchy and shit. It's been gnawed on by moths. And I'm like, yeah, every week you have to make this like 2.5 hour drive to the city, pick up your dog shit that you bought from some dead person, and then drive 2.5. It's not worth it, dude. Like going for earrings you can't wear.
That's a waste of time.
At least you went to Illinois to get high or something. But
is he making money? Is he reselling it at a profit?
Can't imagine.
No, he's a streamer, so now he just has this patchy little boar head behind him and his opal earrings, which I guess is kind of cool. I don't know.
Is he like
I like the idea of looking at estate sales, though. That does sound kind of fun. Like maybe gym equipment.
Honestly,
maybe some big buff steroid freak died, and I can get all of his
The only reason I shit on him is because I found the app that he uses, and it's really close to him. And in order to ship down to Tallahassee, it's like $300 an item. So I'm like, I see things I want to buy, and I'm like, I can't fucking buy it. And then I see that he wins them, and I'm like, that could have been mine if I was willing to pay the.
That could have been my shitty boar head. That could have been my broken plate.
Oh, if I talk shit about it, it's because you know I wanted
spoon.
it. That's why I wanted the boar head. I thought I would have looked great with those opal earrings, and he snatched them out from under me. You know.
I don't remember, like, just saying the word collector spoons, like, gave me one of those memories of, like, being a kid. I don't remember whose house I was in. I must have been 3 or 4 years old, like a cousin of a cousin of a cousin. But I remember seeing in their house a huge amount of spoons.
Yep.
Like, one for every state. And I remember getting a feeling of, like, intense sadness, like, on behalf of them. Like, I recognized at 3, like, oh, that's so sad. Like, what a stupid thing to be into. How embarrassing. I'm standing here, like, with shit in my pants, understanding, like, how sad it is that you're collecting spoons. I don't, you know, those visceral memories you get? Something just pops up, usually a
not one that's so
sometimes a word.
judgy. No, normally.
You want to hear something sadder? My dad used to collect JanSport backpacks.
The cheap ones?
I used to have a JanSport.
Yeah, but the point of a JanSport
We all
backpack is
did.
they have a lifetime warranty. You just need one. You don't need 48 fucking. You don't need like a dedicated closet to just JanSport backpacks.
I like Darn Tough socks, and they're doing a giveaway.
Got some on right now, baby.
Yeah, Darn Tough socks are amazing. They're not a sponsor, and one of their things is you have a lifetime warranty, which is cool.
What?
Well, if you got a Darn Tough sponsor, I would be all over the show.
I would like that. Darn Tough, call us. We don't have a number though. So
we should.
They are doing a giveaway or something, and I hate these giveaways. I always figured there's like a 1 in a trillion chance I win of a lifetime supply of Darn Tough socks, and I'm like, a lifetime supply.
Details.
The detail is there are only 7 pairs of socks because they last forever. So you just get one for each pair of the week, and they call that a lifetime supply. And it's like, you fucks, that's not a lot.
Yeah, you don't run out of socks because you remember to wear them until they disintegrate. It's because you lose them because they're socks. Like, they should be giving you 2 pairs a month.
Yes, I like
think
that.
that's real.
I think they start you out with a good 8-10 pair, and then maybe a pair every 3 months after that would be very much fair.
That's a lot.
No, I'm a very literal
That's a
person.
lifetime
If it's
supply.
lifetime supply, I should never have to wash a fucking sock. Every day, I should get a new package of
Okay,
socks
white boy.
in.
I know people
and
that do
I want
that.
to take them off and burn them in like a. They should send me a little Darn Tough sock incinerator where I just drop them in as soon as I take them off.
What just
Because
happened?
dude, those things are expensive, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.